Like gas on blaze, bounce is the craze. 8-ball moves and the beat is paid. Keep steady on track and the vibes intact.
Hey everybody, this is Roshonda Buchanan, your host with 2unique magazine. I'm here with certified girl boss Terran Gary with Sub Roy Studios and Mr. Jungle Slide himself, Mr. Montel Jones. Welcome.
Hello,
Hey
hello.
everybody.
Awesome. So we are highlighting the month of February with hashtag Black History, Black Future. So thank you guys for joining me. Welcome.
Mhm.
Thank you for
First,
having me and Mr. Montel.
Well, we try. We do what we can, Miss Nora. We try.
yes, yes. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about this wonderful collaboration, Bounce It line dance. Now, what inspired this dynamic project and how was the experience working with each other?
Well, actually, Mr. Liddell Beeman pushed me into this. I'm going to say this 1,000 times in every interview. And it's something I actually came up with. And I told him I did not have dancers. I don't have the choreographer. I just told him all the things I didn't have. And he goes, hold on. And we was in the car. He made the phone call to Miss Nora. And we went from there. And now we're here with Miss Nora. So that's what happened.
Awesome. Good deal. How was your experience, Taryn?
Exactly that. Liddell knows that he can count on me and Subroy for any projects where he needs dancers or he needs choreography. So that was a no-brainer. We've definitely worked together before. And I mean, who doesn't love a line dance, honestly? Like, who doesn't love a line dance? And you've seen so many since the electric slide, and they're all just as valid as the other, and they all bring joy. That was the overarching theme for me, is the opportunity to do something that brings joy. I think it's right in line with Heal the Hood, as naturally, but it's also in line with where we all should be in our lives, is bringing joy to one another and being in the creative process of something that brings joy. So that was definitely, I was already in.
Oh yeah, and it was a workout. I was about to pass out. Everybody want to get their workout on. I tell you, hey, bounce it is the dance. Okay, I think
It
you'll.
was fun. It
Yeah,
was surely fun, especially that part right there.
yeah,
I was like, yeah.
yeah. You probably dropped 30 pounds in one set.
Yeah, because you literally are going the entire song. That was like one of the first things he did. It's like he played the song for me, and then I was like, okay, what part does it go to? He was like, oh no, we just gonna keep going.
Oh yeah.
So I sat through and I counted it out. I was like, okay, we got an even number of bars, and the dance fits perfectly. What, 3 times in 3 full rotations through the whole song?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's perfect.
And my favorite part is here we go, here we go.
Let's
So here we go. Let's get into this next question, okay? Thank you for that. So let's be honest. Sometimes it can be a tricky and touchy situation or subject when working with people that you don't know. What mindset should you bring to the table when collaborating and building a team?
Well,
You want to go first, Montel?
go ahead. Mine's really short. It's respect. You have to.
You stole it from me.
We twins. We right here. We work together. Pop, pop. No, it's the respect of it. After he told me, with Liddell telling me who she was, and then once I saw, you have to mentally connect automatically, regardless.
Yes.
Respect. And then after I saw what she does and how she did it, I was like, let me just move out the way. Let me move out the way. Let her do her thing.
I love it. It's like staying in your lane, right?
Stand in your lane.
All right. What about you, Terry?
I'm going to stick with respect. I mean, you have to understand that the creative process is beautiful on every level, at every turn.
Right.
And as an artist, I'm in it for that joy. And the people that I want to touch, I wanted them to be in it for that joy. So an opportunity to create, you know what I mean, outside of something that you typically create, I'm absolutely going to come into the project respecting the person who catalyzed it. You know what I mean? Like, let's put it together. You do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. Because we both said respect, I'll say next, which is probably very necessary in order to be able to respect what somebody else does, is maturity. You know, you mentioned staying in your lane. You got to be mature enough to know what your lane is. I didn't come in there saying, I don't like the way that note sounds right there. I don't know nothing about no notes. I don't know nothing about how to write no music. I haven't written a poem since I was 12, so that ain't my lane.
I love
You
it.
know?
I love
So
it.
you have to be mature enough to know what your lane is so you can get in it and stay in it. And then you'll understand that your lane is so special that there's no possible way that that other person's lane is not just as special.
Yes.
Because y'all are there to do something together.
Yes, and it creates cosmic, harmonious relationships in the
Yes.
process. I love
Absolutely.
it. Thank you for that. What are some negative stigmas among people of color in business that we as a community should pay attention to, and how should we address that?
Ooh, Terran, go.
Go ahead.
Terran.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. I know what happened.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, go, Terran.
Would you
I
like
didn't
to
hear the
repeat
question.
This is a Terran
I
question.
know what happened. The speakers connected to my car, and my daughter opened the car door. That's what
Gotcha.
happened.
No problem.
Okay.
So,
What was the question?
what are some negative stigmas among people of color in business that we as a community should pay attention to, and how should we address that?
It's my turn, Montel.
Oh yeah, that's a Terran question. Oh yeah.
We hear it all the time. It's very cliche, and that's a shame about most things that we hear all the time, is they are so valid, but there's been overkill. We've heard it too many times to really hear it. But the crabs in the barrel syndrome, just recently, this past week, one of my students posted a meme on Instagram, and it was 2 staircases. And the first one said Atlanta rappers. And the picture was a person on each stair step and basically holding hands, and then icons of money being made. And then one person at the top with a bigger bag of money, basically indicating success. And then the second column said Memphis rappers. And the very bottom person was shooting up. The second person was kicking down at him. The third person was falling off the step. Then the fourth person was shooting down from the top, you know, and it was just chaos on that stair step that said Memphis rappers. And all I could think about was that art imitates life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that Memphis has always been a ball of potential, but that competitive nature that misrepresents us, and that need to be the person at the top so badly at any cost, and not understanding that we should as a community be working together, and inevitably we do, but what are we working together to do? You know what I mean? All of that fighting and that chaos on that step that said Memphis rapper, they working together, but they working together to kill each other. You know, so you're gonna work together regardless. You might as well be okay with somebody else succeeding. And then you might be able to stomach your own success a little bit better, you know? But this idea of only one person can be successful and it's gonna be me, I'm gonna be the one to ring the bell. That's detrimental to the community.
Oh, wow. I love that. And you just made me think about even being Memphians and, you know, being residents and growing up here. I always saw that Bogart spirit. And when you think about going downtown, you know how we're driving and we don't want to let nobody over. So we're going to Bogart, you know, that's the type of spirit that we have, even in corporate, you know. And you think about, you know, why is that? what we're clawing our way to the top. We're scratching, we're clawing our way to what we believe is successful pathways, but we're stepping on each other in the process, hurting each other without remorse. So,
And I have another opinion on that. Another cliche, something that we've heard so much that we don't hear it. But the reality is that we are still suffering from post-traumatic slave syndrome. And we are very much so still under the Willie Lynch spell, so much so that we think we're not. We think that because we know some successful people and we are related to some successful people and we are some successful people, that everything's okay. But everything's not okay. We're far from okay, because one thing my grandmother used to teach me, and it would make me cringe every time she said it, but I get it now. And she would always tell me this. She would always say, no matter how much people profess to be your friend, they'll always love to hear of your ill fate. And as a kid, I hated hearing it because I didn't want to believe it, you know, and it was one of those things that she would say, and I'd be like, oh, here she go again. Right. But the older I got, I was like, man, my grandmama was so right about that. And that sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks that that's right. It just really is unfortunate that we don't care more about each other. But if you think back to what we were forced to deal with, and if you want to get into DNA memory, you know, and just survival mechanisms that have been lended down in families, you know, we haven't reached a point where we can't trust each other yet. And that's something that I think we have to actively work on. But it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Is so hard because you almost know that you're not going to be treated fairly if you want to step out and be the first one to treat people fairly, you know, but you're convicted if you don't do it, you know, you if that's what's on your heart. And we just have to, I don't know the answer there, you know, but I do know we're not okay.
Yeah. Wow. That's powerful. Thank you. So, did you have anything to say, Montel, on that?
Yeah, she did an excellent. I'll add jealousy. That's a problem, and simultaneously, it's like you said, knowing your role. It's too many people playing those roles. That's all. It's just too many people saying this is what I really do, but you really don't. You yourself A, B, and C, but you're really not.
Okay.
That's a problem too, is a stepping into lanes you have no business in and claiming it and simultaneously ruining it for somebody that really knows. So it's a jealousy thing. Like you said, trying to get there first. You're the first one in the door, but you really don't know. And because you feel, like she said, entitlement. It's an entitlement system that we're dealing with. That's a problem too. So.
And honestly, there's no point in being the first person in the door if you're not gonna hold it open, you know?
Exactly.
But the fearful part about it is when you are the one to hold it open, I've held doors open for people that snatched them open like I was trying to close it.
Right.
I say often I've given people things they thought they were taking from me, you know, but I guess we just have to suck it up and hope, you know, and hope and know that good vibes will prevail, you know what I mean? And keeping ourselves out of situations that compromise the good vibes that we can share, you know? If I can only, if my vibes are only good over here, then I'm gonna stay over here, where I'd rather be around 10 people in my best vibe than around 100 people in my worst vibe. Because now I've infected 100 people with a bad vibe, as opposed to I can stay over here and be my best self, and I've shined a vibrant vibe on 10.
I love it.
And I think that goes back to knowing what your lane is. I don't do what you do and do that.
I think we can fix some of it, and I've said this to Rashana. Some of it can be fixed if a man once told me, he said, Montel, I'll help you if you bring someone like you. That way the chain will never be broken, right? So I always say this to Rashonda. we can help by bringing, if you can bring the 10s in, if we can bring enough 10s in, if we fall, at least we down to 8. But if you just bring it in because somebody, talent to me is mental. It's not the best rapper, the best singer, the dancer, is not the best car driver. It's not, none of that. That's not talent to me. The best hairdresser is not the talent. The best talent is here. That's the best talent. So if we bring this to the forefront, honestly, and we let that baggage go, which a lot of us just will not let the baggage go, right?
Man, everybody that made it past 2020 is supposed to forget about everything that happened before 2020. Leave it back there.
Leave it back there and move forward. And I guarantee you, if you start right there, fresh and clean, we can fix a lot of it. We can fix a lot of it. A lot of it can be fixed. This city, most definitely, Memphis, can be fixed in a lot of ways. We just have to let that baggage go. God said everybody can't go, and they can't. Here's my analogy. You cannot bring your high school basketball game to the NBA. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So there you go.
I got it. So what is one question that every Black person should be asking themselves?
You asking a Black man? Oh my gosh.
And mine could be, for instance, why are we killing each other? So what would you say?
Oh, that's a tough one, man. It's everything. Go ahead, Terran. Terran.
You know I'm ready.
I know. Come on, Terran.
The first thing that came to mind is, what am I leaving for posterity? What am I leaving behind? And I think that just comes from growing up around teachers and meeting my grandmother and my grandfather's ex-students and them telling me, these are people older than my parents, telling me your grandfather had the greatest effect on me, or your grandmother got me through 4th grade, just realizing that they had served people and going back to that good vibe situation. Now we all go through immature points in our lives. I mean, I've been a dance teacher since I was 13. At 42, I'm not the same dance teacher I was at 13. At 42, I'm not the same dance teacher I was at 30. Priorities change, experiences grow you. I think that we should definitely be asking, am I leaving good on this situation, or am I leaving bad on this situation? Because as a community, we should be working together to survive. It's too many people that don't want us to survive.
No.
So am I leaving something that's going to help us grow, or am I going to leave something that's going to weed us out?
I love it. And so we're going to end on that note. This was such a powerful message. So with that being our time, thank you so much to both of you for uniquely being you. You are too unique. So so everybody, let's think about our Black history, what it took for our ancestors to help pave the way to where we are now, and what we need to do to create a better future. We have the torch. The torch is now in our hands. What are we doing with the mantle that has been passed down to us? Hashtag Black history, hashtag Black future. Thank you, and think about how you are contributing. We're out, y'all. This is 2unique. Bye-bye.
See you later, Terran.
Bye, Montel and Rashonda.
Right